Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second session of our game of Sensibility and Swordsmanship. We are currently in London. Well, not the players, obviously. The players are somewhere else, not London, I think. I have no idea. But I'm not in London anyway. So our characters are in London, and they are members of the upper society, not the highest of society, but pretty well-to-do. And of course, they have problems, money problems, marriage problems, and also revenge problems and murder problems. So without further ado, I would ask all of you to introduce your characters, your side characters as well, please, and just say something about who they are, why they are like that, and who they are connected to, most importantly. And, well, this time I think I'd like to go in alphabetical order of the players, and I would start with Agatha, therefore.
Cool. I am Agatha. My pronouns are she, her. And I'm playing, my main is Miss Frederica Isles. Her mask name is the Ivory Stiletto. And it is thus because she is on a revenge streak against the people that killed her uncle who raised her. Uncle Blank Bond. And every time she kills off one of her targets, she leaves an ivory stiletto beside them as a middle finger to the deceased, saying you were instrumental in causing my uncle's death, therefore I am repaying the same. Yes, Christopher Bond, my uncle Christopher Bond. She's kind of like, she's very young. She's 19, and so she is kind of single-minded and a little bit sullen, I think, is how I would describe her. And she's secretly engaged to Lady Justine Griffin, but things are getting a little awkward. And I don't remember why. I'm sure Lady Justine Griffin will elaborate on this, but this is kind of like the state of things. She's on the cusp of perhaps being found out by one of the bounty hunters, Lord Cedric Griffin, aka the Justice Phantom. But we don't. The characters don't know that. I suppose we don't know who they are. And I'm also playing this. Am I introducing the side character I'm playing, or am I introducing my side character? How does that work?
I think you should introduce the side character you're playing.
Great. I'm also playing Orlando St. George, who is Hugh's cousin. They go by they, them pronouns. So far, Orlando St. George has not been introduced. They are super awesome because they have long and luscious flowing hair and changes between men's and women's clothing several times a day. So I assume Orlando St. George is pretty well off and has some amount of social cachet. I'm not sure how or why, to be able to just kind of flout social norms in that way and to kind of just be accepted as eccentric and maybe even admired perhaps in a way that people like to admire strange artistic people and have them at their parties to boost their reputation, I suppose. So I think that is kind of what Orlando St. George is like. Orlando St. George is very confident in themselves, but is also kind of moody sometimes. So these are the two characters.
Thank you, Agatha. And then, Alan, would you please continue?
Yes, I'm playing as my main character, Mrs. Annabel Hargreaves, who I've described as during the day, a conservatively but well-dressed and even matronly widow who appears to the world to be quite well off. In fact, she isn't. By night, she is the Reaper, a bounty hunter, specializing really in bringing to justice men who abuse younger women, because she was abused in that way as a younger woman. and had to give away an illegitimate child, of which I'm sure more will be revealed. And she, at the minute, her focus is her money is running out, her legitimate money, and so she needs one last job. But unfortunately, to make that job work, she thinks she needs the help of the Justice Phantom, the only bounty hunter she respects. Unfortunately, he is her arch enemy. So that's my main character. I'm also playing Viscount Luther Griffin. The Viscount is the father of Lady Justine Griffin and Lord Cedric Griffin, of which more later. And he is described as having gambling debts and a bit red in the face and carved like granite, and seems to be terribly like that. So those are my two characters.
Thank you, Alan. Leandro, would you please continue?
Hi, yeah, my name's Leandro. I use he, him pronouns. For this series, I'm playing the aforementioned Lady Justine Griffin, who is kind of the new arrival in town. She spent some time abroad, but I met some interesting people. I've gotten engaged with some interesting people. But yeah, I'll talk about that later. In a bit, but she's come back kind of in town, and she's kind of, I'm imagining her by day, she is kind of like just a ridiculous sort of, just a newcomer who plays a bored, disaffected youth for the public. Probably is a bored, disaffected youth, because by night she is a silent masked ghost, a thief who steals from the rich, mainly to also get rich. As otherwise known as the Velvet Ghost. Yeah, so she has a secret fiance in Miss Frederica Isles. It's kept secret because she is an illegitimate child, but Justine doesn't care about that nonsense. I think we decided we met right after your uncle's murder, so it was all passionate and fragile and whatnot.
Yes. And I wanted to add the little bit that Sabine clarified, which is that the reason why things are a little awkward is because I feel like your father is involved somehow, and also my uncle's sword, which was stolen during his murder, is in your place, in your country home, or whatever, the seat.
Yeah, I think Lady Justine doesn't know any of that. I think she just thinks like, oh no, the passion's going. We need to marry as soon as possible. And yeah, I do think she is kind of like that disaffected youth who steals from the rich to get rich. So that'll be fun to play out. And also, my side character is Mrs. Judith Bond, who is Frederica's aunt. She's described as having gray streaked hair and an out-of-date style, pinch mouth, and a faded impression of a woman. She was basically paid to take care of Frederica after she was given away by her mother, who Frederica doesn't know. Might be one of the player characters who's the one old enough to be a mother here. Who knows? But yeah, Mrs. Bond doesn't have the most favorable impression of Miss Frederica. In fact, I think it's written here, she thinks that Frederica is the well of misfortunes who brought about her husband's death. So that's been sad to play out so far.
Very nice. I'll continue myself because that's the alphabetical order. I'm sorry, Scott, but people with S in their first name, they just lose on the gauntlet. I am going to play my name is Sabine, by the way. I haven't said that yet. My name is Sabine. I use any pronouns you like. I am playing Lord Cedric Griffin, who uses he, him. He is the younger twin brother of Lady Justine. Unlike his sister, who went cavorting around the country, he has taken a different path to escape his oppressive parents and went to have some sort of career as a clerk in a political kind of office. Yeah, he is, he projects a rather conservative manner. He seems to be a bit he's not the most scintillating person at the party, certainly. But at night, he is the Justice Phantom, which is also not a very scintillating conversationalist, but he catches bad guys, bad people who do bad things because it is the right thing to do, because he believes in justice. That's why he's the Justice Phantom, because justice should be invisible and just strike like lightning from... Okay, he's a bit much, maybe, the Justice Phantom, when he starts to go off on these diatribes. That's, yeah, well, that's sometimes when the bad guys escape, but well. He has this arch enemy who is the Reaper, because the Reaper is in the justice game just for money, which is wrong. He's Justine's, and he wants to, of course, arrest the Ivory Stiletto, because she murdered his uncle in cold blood, and he nearly caught her, but she did escape the last session. So that's that. And for a side character, I'm playing Reverend Cuthbert Plunkett, an elderly man. He's a reverend. He is a good friend and of Mrs. Annabel Hargreaves. Knows some things he might reveal inadvertently to people he shouldn't, and he is currently very heartbroken because somebody stole a very, very, very valuable and rare book about birds, and he loves to talk about birds and birds. Yes. And I'm done raving about my characters, and I will leave the stage to Scott, please.
I'm Scott. The pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing Hugh Botham. And Hugh Botham has a bit of a negative reputation as a cad. He's never with the same woman 2 seasons in a row. My public desire is to restore my reputation and also to be forgiven by my good friend Lady Griffin. However, my secret desire is to marry her brother, Lord Griffin. By night, I am the Lancashire lover, and instead of being a cad, I am all about encouraging long-term love and relationships among men and women, and men and men, and women, and I don't care, as long as it's love. And I tend to steal from fallen lovers and give to young, poor lovers special gifts or whatnot. I'm the Robin Hood of romance, and I'm also playing. Let's see, Lady Sybil Griffin. Although I think she should be a Marquess, because her kids are Lord and Lady. And she is the mother of Lord Griffin, which I guess would also make her the mother of Lady Griffin. And she is aghast that her son Cedric, who she raised so well, would bother to work for a living. Who does that? Who does that? Where did he get that idea? It's just not done. And that's who I'm playing.
Very nice, thank you. So last session, we mostly built these characters and entangled them rather tightly. Like Vakant somebody with more ideas about how British nobility work than me might just change it on the character keeper. Last session we
I'm kind of a minor. I know about these things.
Very good. So change it. Oh well, they're not that well respected, I guess. Or are they? I don't know. We'll see. They're certainly rather abrasive. They're not. I think the both elder griffins aren't the people you invite to a party because you think they will add with their personalities. So last time we had some rooftop scenes, mostly those were vignettes, where we saw the Velvet Ghost steal a book, and where we saw Miss Hargreaves. What did she do? Remind me, Alan.
We ended
The Reaper.
as the Reaper. Oh, she just she has a job. One of her contracts is to protect Bedford Square in London.
Okay.
Which isn't far from her
Right.
small manor house in Islington.
Yes, right. Bedford Square. That's also where we saw the Ivory Stiletto murdering the Griffin uncle, and where we saw the Justice Phantom chase the Ivory Stiletto around and maybe get a glimpse at her silhouette, but not recognizing her in any way. And then we saw the Lancashire lover. What did he do? Sorry, my brain. Scott, remind me. What did we see? The Lancashire lover.
I was stealing somebody's journal where they had written about
Right.
their clandestine affairs.
Oh, right. Nice. Okay, and then we had a soiree, or started with a soiree, or novel phase, or novel chapter. I think it's called novel chapter, or novel chapter, at a soiree at Mrs. Hargreaves' house, which was a bit run down, but quite nice. Quite nice. Anybody was there. So the only persons who weren't there are the secondary connections, and we had people talk a bit to each other, but I don't think a lot happened there. Or have I forgotten a salient point at that? Nope. Great. So then let us start out with our novel chapter, where we are now in the I think it's a garden party, if I remember correctly. And we are wandering around in the gardens, eating. Oh, right. Frederica Isles was going to be introduced to society because she is young, and her aunt felt that it was time, and they got in actually through the back door, through the kitchen, which is usually reserved for servants, I guess.
Yes, Mrs. Hargreaves, because Mrs. Bond is related to Mrs. Hargreaves.
Yeah, right.
They're living in a cottage at the far end of the Hargreaves estate. So they trekked across country to get to my Sunday afternoon soiree.
Yes, I remember that they had muddy boots and muddied skirts. Yes. And I think Justine arrived with her parents and was kind of bummed out about her parents being like, being their parents. Their mother was already complaining that they weren't in church. While Cedric arrived by horse and got confronted about it by his father. And Frederica, well, let's start out with maybe the Aunt Judith, right? Introducing Frederica to Mrs. Hargreaves. Why don't we?
I think we already did that. That
We
was
did
the
that?
scene we had.
That was the scene.
Mrs. Hargreaves ushered them throrough.
Yes, right.
With confidence that they'd be fascinated to talk to the Reverend Plunkett. Because these are, they're poor relations. I'm doing the decent thing, but actually my finances, I'm stretched already, for goodness sake. Nobody knows.
Yes, but okay. So that's where we ended, right? When with Frederica and Judith being ushered over to the Reverend. Okay. Does anybody have a scene they want to play right at this point?
In a request, I want to see what Hugh's doing.
Yeah. Cool. Let's start with that. What is Hugh doing?
Hugh, who arrived with Lavinia, has promptly left her to talk and is currently dancing with, let's see, who is there? Currently, he's dancing with, I'm going to, can we have a scene between myself and Lady Griffin?
Sure. Former partners. Are we dancing or are we just having a scene?
Well, that would be this scene, or just a short conversation while we're dancing.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's in the middle of the dance, and we just kind of end up pairing together. And I think you probably see Lady Griffin's face looking quite disaffected, like, oh yeah, having fun dancing, why not? And then once it turns up to you, her face curls.
Why, you look displeased to be dancing with me. There was once a time when that wasn't the case.
Oh, don't play coy with me, Hugh. I was gonna sidle up, hold hands, and gripping your hands very tightly. You know, there's no need to play coy with me. What the hell are you even doing here?
Well, I was invited. And one does not turn down an invitation to a ball of this caliber.
Oh, sorry. Let me refine the question then. What the hell are you doing here dancing with me when by rights I should be dumping you into the Thames?
Oh, that hurts. That you've stabbed me straight to the heart. You must know that that much time has passed.
And?
We are different people now.
That's not for you to declare. That's for you to prove.
So you are open to me proving it.
she looks at you with like, oh, you motherfucker.
Or is the door on our friendship permanently closed?
I think she looks quite annoyed at that, and it's like, well, I like to think it's not so much closed, it's you slamming it so hard that it broke off the hinges, Sir Lotham.
Yes, my
Botham, sorry,
was
Botham.
not my finest day, was it?
Well, let me just say today you'll have ample time to atone for. More furious dancing.
Why, it's been lovely. I must away to Lavinia. She awaits my hand for the next dance.
Your newest paramour, is it?
She'll do for this season. I don't see us long term. She doesn't see us long term.
That seems so typical of you. You always moving on.
Perhaps one day I will learn to stay in one place. Perhaps.
I think here to dance, Justine puts you close and just kind of like stares up to your face and says, well, let's hope you learn that lesson before you leave more broken hearts trailing behind you. And she's going to step away.
Yeah, I think that scene was good.
Very good. I think I would like to have a scene with Frederica, because we're all dancing at that point. And I have put myself on your dance card, of course, like one does. And
yes, it's on my wrist.
I think I don't. I think you know that I'm your fiance's brother, but I don't know that you're my sister's fiance, right?
No, because it's a secret engagement.
Oh, very cool. So I will ask you to dance, of course, because you are being introduced. But every time you turn away, I will stare at your face like, with this, where have I seen this before? And of course, I will then ask you, Miss Isles, you have a very striking countenance. May I ask where I might have encountered that before? I seem to remember, but I cannot recall exactly.
Can't imagine under any circumstance that we would have crossed paths before this. Honorable. You're on. I'm looking at the titles on the Wikipedia page. Sorry, I'm distracted. Because it says it's the Honorable Cedric Griffin, because you're the son of the Viscount. Okay. Anyway.
I think it's just, my Lord Cedric is totally fine.
Lord Griffin. I can't imagine Lord Griffin.
Well, then maybe it is one of these things. Yes, I have a very active social life. You must know. Maybe I have seen you in passing and been arrested by your. You are very pretty, Miss Isles, if I may say so. If you don't think that is forward for me to say so.
I think that is quite forward.
I apologize deeply.
But it's all right. I'm frankly a little taken aback. I thought I'd taken you for a different sort of man.
Oh, I did not know that I had left any kind of impression whatsoever on you. How would you know me?
I've heard.
Oh.
Of you.
Oh. I hope you heard no bad things. I could not imagine what you would have heard, actually.
I've heard that you are a working man.
Yes, I am, actually. I do work for political, and now my knowledge of the English political system leaves me minister or something. Minister, let's say minister. Or secretary. Secretary is good. I'm working as adjacent to a secretary, actually, of the state.
I see. Then you must know a lot about the peerage.
Yes, I know many people. I've actually studied the law for a bit.
Do you... That's... Yes.
But you probably have no interest in such dry topics.
Do you know of the scandal that occurred quite a few years ago with a... Well, I don't know. This is not actually peerage, but Christopher Bond, by any chance?
I seem to vaguely... Oh, is he kin to your aunt? Was he? I think I heard something about a terrible murder taking place. Is that, or am I confused now?
Yes, he is my uncle.
My deepest condolences.
Thank you.
What a strange coincidence. My own uncle was murdered not 2 nights ago.
Oh.
Yes, murder most foul. But I'm sure the British constabulary will manage to apprehend the miscreant.
May I inquire as to the nature of this murder? You said you witnessed it with your own eyes?
No, of course not. It happened during the night, where I'd sleep, of course.
Then how would you... Huh, I see.
Well, we were, of course, informed that my uncle had been murdered. It is not something that will not be known.
Do you know by whom?
There was a clue, but somebody left an ivory stiletto on his body.
I see. Most unfortunate.
Yes, quite morbid to talk of such things. And of course, my condolences for the death of your own uncle.
Likewise.
Thank you. And then he turns you in the dance, and he looks at the silhouette of your face, and he thinks like, I know that face. You can see that look on his face, and I think that's the scene.
Yeah, and I feel like during all this time, we wear gloves. Oh, so it's fine. It's fine. But it's like my hands are like super sweaty, and I'm just like, gotta go.
I would like to spend a monologue token.
Yeah.
Hear since Agatha won't be with us after this session, to hear what the Miss Isles is thinking.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
And I'll go ahead and mark your character sheet that you've monologued.
Yeah, do it.
Actually, you have to spend your monologue token, Scott.
I did. I just marked her sheet. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Of course. Right, of course. They're related. The late... He's Justine's brother. So of course, their uncle. Can't. I have to be calm. I have to stay here and smile at people and do these dances because I must. But this is a lot. And I mean, I don't regret it. I can't regret it. And I know that justice will be served. But I just wish that there was someone else that I could talk to about this. Obviously, it's not this man. He's nice, but if that sword is in their estate, then somehow they are involved. End scene.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Because Miss Isles is going on a long journey somewhere at the end of this session, Mrs. Hargreaves really ought to search her out in order to find out how they're settling in to the cottage. How is it? How do you find the cottage, my dear?
It's very warm, ma'am.
And plenty of room for you? Is it plenty of room?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm so pleased. And your aunt is likewise settling in?
Yes.
And you get on, don't you, the pair of you?
Yes, we do.
Well, if at any point you need someone to talk to, Frederica, you know you can always come to me.
Okay, just out of the scene for a sec. Neither of us know, right? That,
No. No, we
I'm
don't.
your illegitimate child. Okay. Cool.
My child was taken away by my father and given to somebody. I don't know who. And yeah, it is simply the coincidence of a relationship between your father and your uncle, the man you were brought up by, and my father, that puts you at the bottom of my garden.
Okay, and you're not titled, right? I'm not addressing you the wrong
No,
way.
I'm
Great.
Mrs. Hargreaves. My husband was in trade, as was your uncle, I guess.
Probably. I don't know. That's why he's got that sword. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
And now,
also for taking us in.
Well, please don't. It's nothing at all. You know, my husband and your uncle were quite close in their youth, I think. But come, let me introduce you to some people nearer your own age. And I'll scan about. Is Lord Cedric or Lady Justine closest?
Jeez.
Lady Justine is closest.
Yeah.
I'm spending a token. Lady Justine is so close.
Okay, all right, I'm giving that to me, I guess. Right.
And so I will lead her over and introduce her to Lady Justine.
Lady Justine is over near she's necking a glass. She's probably still quite angry. But yeah, I think you probably come up to me first, Miss Hargreaves. So I kind of like, yeah.
Oh wait, I would love to spend a token. Yeah, I got tokens. I'm gonna be here. I would love to spend a token for you, for Lady Justine, for you to lose your composure in whatever way you desire. Do you take it?
Oh man. Oh, I don't mind tokens. Oh, help me in rooftop phases.
Take it.
Okay, yeah, I think at the start, I think it's Miss Hargreaves kind of goes and Justine's kind of like, Mrs. Hargreaves, wonderful party you've thrown here. I do wish that you be less cavalier with your invitations. And she kind of vaguely points at Hugh, wherever Hugh is.
Oh, Lady Justine, I do apologize. He wasn't invited. I invited Lavinia Dartmouth, Lord Dartmouth's daughter, and she seemed to have invited Mr. Botham, and I felt it would be impolite to refuse his entry into our little soiree.
Well, then let's pray to Miss Dartmouth's health then, and that her current flight of fancy passes. Anyway, as I said, it's a wonderful party. And what is there anything you want of me, actually?
Well, I want to push on that. I don't quite understand, Lady Justine. What are we discussing?
Well, far be it from me to just keep poking, but you know, Mr. Lotham's reputation, I would just hate for Miss Lavinia to just end up on another long list of, for lack of a better term, marks.
I say, is this common knowledge then?
Well, if it isn't, it should be. It really should be. Bit of drink.
Frederica, please do take care around Mr. Botham. Lady Justine is clearly concerned, and obviously I would not want you to run afoul of a gentleman. But now let me leave you young people to talk.
I think when you say Miss Frederica, I don't think Justine twigged that she'd be here. So when they kind of noticed that Frederica's there, Justine's not good at hiding it. Her eyes kind of like, oh my God, you're here. Like,
yes, I imagine that as I turn away, she's just behind me, and she's revealed.
Yep. like a good dependent, I was not making my presence where it is not required.
Miss Isles. Justine kind of turns, looks around, and sees anyone still around. Is Lady Hargreaves has gone off, has she? Or
I think actually Annabel Hargreaves will loiter, apparently not listening, but very interested, because of course as the Reaper, she's looking for any clue as to how to get to Hugh Botham.
Okay, so I think Lady Justine's eyes kind of dart, and she's like, "Well, Miss Isles, is it Miss Isles?"
Yes, Lady Griffin.
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I had not been acquainted with. I've not been acquainted with your presence before. Let me, and she's kind of like looking around, see if, do I have a spare glass of wine or anything? Please let me try to be as good a host as Mrs. Hargreaves.
And I'll put a hand on your arm. No, please, let me. And I'll, I don't know, grab a glass from. Is there a table? Are there people passing by?
Yes,
servants?
Yes,
yes, there are
the
servants
Hargreaves
and
household has 2 maids.
All right, I grab it from Nancy.
Very nice. I think when you kind of put your hand, did you put your hand on mine or something?
Yes, I put it on your arm, as is normal with young ladies at this time.
Okay. Yeah, I think like when you do that, I might have to spend a token, but I'm kind of trying to lean forward and whisper.
You don't have to spend a token, but also I don't see how you're freaking out.
Yeah, I think no. What you hear is like, you shouldn't be here.
I'm sorry.
It feels. Sorry, Frederica. It feels weird that you're here. It feels weird seeing you here. You're being so downtrodden.
I'm the dependent of my aunt, and I'm here by the good charity of Mrs. Hargreaves. I'm sorry, why should I not be here? Do you think I should be in the back with the servants' quarters instead?
No. I think you hear Lady Justine shout no, and Hargreaves probably hear that. And then Justine's like, no, that's not what I meant, Frederica. I just meant just out of here. I wish I didn't have to be whispering to you. I wish I didn't have to be pretending. That's it. That's what I meant. I wish. Do you remember when we met? It was, what's the name of that place? It was a lovely inn. I think it was, they called like the Four Pentacles, something like that. It was nice, and you. I don't know. This look doesn't suit you. You deserve better.
And what do I deserve exactly, Lady Griffin?
Can I spend a token? Can I give a token to Justine to have her use the word marriage in Annabel Hargreaves' hearing?
Oh man, you're making me rich. Who am I to say no to a complication? I think Justine she didn't realize it, but her voice is getting louder again. She's been drinking, and she's quite angry. At first at Hugh being there, and at seeing Frederica, or I don't know. I get the feeling she calls her Freddie. I don't know. In private. So her her voice is kind of slipping a bit, and she's like, well, I'm just saying that someone like you deserves someone who treat you well, a proper marriage or so. Someone who will make sure you don't have to be dependent on anyone. Miss Isles. That's what I meant. You deserve better.
Cut to Mrs. Hargreaves. Ah.
Jeez.
Christ.
Thank you, Lady Griffin.
Can I spend a token?
Jesus, how many tokens do you have? You're gonna run out.
Not enough, but I'm getting used to this now. I'd like to give Frederica Isles a token for her to say to use Justine, not Lady Griffin.
I'll take it. Give it to me. So I can spend it on someone else. Oh.
I need to spend these tokens.
Okay, and we were like standing pretty close to each other, close enough for me to be able to touch your arm. But I think I do lean in a little closer. But this is the true state of our situation and of our stations. Do you see this now? Do you see where I am? Do you see what I am? And where you are? It's not meant to be, Justine.
I see all that, Freddie. I see all that, and I would wish I could take it all away. I wish I could take it.
You can't.
Will you stop me from trying, though?
I don't know if I will be the one stopping you from trying, or if you'll be the one stopping me.
I think at that, Lady Justine kind of leans back and kind of like quite actually no, let me think about this.
Yeah, and I'm going to when you step back, I will say it is a pleasure to make an acquaintance with you, Lady Griffin, but I fear our paths have diverged. And then I shall leave. Unless I feel like there's a suggestion coming from Alan.
I'm all out of tokens, so all I can do is suggest. But I would quite like to have Viscount Griffin come up and say, Justine!
He has tokens to spend.
Viscount Griffin has his own tokens, so you can spend these.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're muted.
You just muted yourself.
Spend one of his tokens.
Yeah, if you want him to come in, you can do that.
Or can I just turn up?
To interject yourself into the scene, you'll have to spend one.
Okay. Who do I give it to?
I guess to Justine, since
give it to her.
Yeah, because I want to manipulate.
So she can spend it.
Yeah, so much. I need to spend these.
Yeah, I'm spending to save here. So Lord Griffin, yes, will spend a token to interject himself into a scene and give it to his daughter Justine. He's seen these two young women talking, and there's nothing to be had in that. And he whisks her away because he's just seen Orlando St. George arrive, who's a terribly eligible young man. Come, Justine, there's someone I want you to meet.
Father, have you had a drink?
I beg your pardon, young woman.
No, I'm merely suggesting that you should have more. You should enjoy yourself at this party, Father, instead of.
Young woman, I will enjoy myself when you're properly betrothed to a young man who can keep you in the style to which I can see you have become accustomed.
I curtsy at the Viscount, and I walk away.
Yeah, I'm.
Who on earth
You're
is that
muted out.
woman?
And a ward of a tenant of Miss Hargreaves. Drinks.
Well, you're wasting your time talking to her. Come with me. Come. And I take her arm and impose upon Orlando. Mrs. George, my daughter Justine. And then I want a similar kind of scene to run with the two playing a different kind of relationship.
Do you want to cut to the other two before we do this? Because me and I got to have a long conversation.
I think that would be good. I also really want a scene between Orlando St. George and Hugh Botham before I leave. But please.
I would like to have a scene with the Reverend. I'm not sure who with, but at the end. Oh, yes, I know, with Judith. Yes, please.
Oh my god. Is that okay having like 2 secondary characters? Just having it? Okay, fine, let's do this. Okay.
Oh, right there, 2 seconds. But it can be a short scene because afterwards I want to amble over.
You just want the Reverend in play.
I just want I want to have a reason for him to go to Miss Hargreaves with something, realizing that there is something she should know.
Okay.
Yes. Miss, you are Miss Bond. Is that true? I am Reverend Cuthbert Plunkett, my dear. We have not been introduced, but I'm introducing myself. I am a Reverend. This is proper. I'm widowed, also.
Hold on. I need a moment.
Are you quite well, my dear?
This is out of character. Go away, Sabine. You and Alan are a plague on me with these characters. Damn it. I have to play the straight-laced one here. I think Mrs. Bond looks at you and says, "It's Mrs. Bond."
Oh, forgive me. I am sorry. Terribly sorry. And but your fine husband is not here. I see.
He's dead.
Oh, I am so sorry. And he pats your hand, like helpfully, consolingly. That is too bad. Well, such is our lot in life, my dear. God taketh and God giveth away. Sorry. God giveth and God taketh away.
Our God seems quite a fickle beast, would you say then, Reverend?
Of course not. That is totally inappropriate, my dear.
Well, then, was my husband's death part of his ineffable plan?
Probably, my dear. Take consolation in this. We all have a part to play, for God and for England.
So, there are some folks' part to play is to die, while others is to suffer, then.
Yes,
if that is...
Yes, that is true. That is very, very true, yes. But God has also given us joy. Like, look at these birds over there, sparrows. And I believe that is a blackbird. Isn't it beautiful?
Quite.
Well, yes, quite. Wait. Are you the widow of Mr. Christopher Bond?
Yes.
Oh, I believe I knew your... Oh, well. And then he's looking over at Frederica, and he's looking, and she's your daughter, the young
My
lady,
ward.
the young woman. Your ward. Your. Oh, look at those lovely tits over there. I have to go and look at them. Excuse me. And he's gone quite pale, though. And wanders away. And now I'll spend one of his tokens to have a scene with Mrs. Hargreaves. I'm sorry, but first maybe we should have a scene with you, because I want to see more of him.
Do you want the Reverend to wander towards Hugh? Or-
I think the Reverend right now, maybe. Oh yes, why not? Let's have him wander towards you. He seems quite distraught. You.
So Hugh, do you want to have a scene? Do you want to have a scene as the Reverend with you, or what's happening?
Yes,
I want. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. If you want a scene with you, I just want Scott to have some playtime spotlight.
Yes, I wanted
Sounds good.
to just have like a brief like interaction, at least between Hugh and Orlando St. George.
Then let's do that.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
just
that's
one of
better.
my kids is locked out of the house. So. Oh no, he has his key. Okay.
Oh,
that's good.
Well, that's life.
So I'm here. I'm still here.
Most young ones need to
All right,
learn.
I thought we were in character for a moment then.
No. So Hugh is there, and Orlando, you're there.
yes, I am.
Are you?
Let me
are you
hold-
presenting Orlando or Orlando?
I have a shawl, so I'm Orlan. Oh, but if the Viscount was saying Orlando, then maybe I am Orlando right now.
It would certainly suit the Viscount's plan.
Well, in that case, maybe I should be Orlando. Okay, I definitely have a shawl. I'm dressed maybe at like the cutting edge of fashion, but also with my own flair. So it's like Orlando. Ah! I want to flip a coin. Actually, I think it should be Orlando, probably. Just to get Orlando in. Great. So I am where Orlando is situated is amongst like fancy people. So like people who have like high statuses and are like kind of like matrons, but there's also like one or two quick-witted and sharp young men present, as there seems to be an abundance of, and Orlando is there as well, draped over a chair, perhaps.
Ah, cousin. It's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in several months now.
Yes, Hugh. Do make yourself at home here in this quaint abode.
Thank you. Thank you. Tell me, who are you here with, aside from your standard retinue?
I am here as the esteemed guest of Mrs. Hargreaves.
Ah.
And
so
I
you're
see
not
you
with-
have another young lady in your presence.
Yeah, Lavinia. She's been very enjoyable this season. Quite a break from some of the other society women. Far more adventurous, both out of the bedroom and in the bedroom.
Yes, she is quite comely. Comely enough for you? Finally?
Well, she's not. She and I are. Neither of us are looking to settle down.
Don't give me that.
Well, maybe one day. It's That's why I came to talk. I
Yes,
wanted your
talk.
I wanted your opinion on somebody. Have you had relations with Lord
I
Griffin?
beg your pardon, Hugh? That's maybe a little too scandalous for our present company.
No, not this company. Do you think? Shall we walk? Shall we stroll?
Yes, I suppose we must.
Take a turn about the grounds. So we head out and tell me, have you had relations with Lord Griffin?
And of what relations do you refer to, dear Hugh?
I don't know if you have noticed that he's quite beautiful.
He's quite young.
You know, I've always preferred my women my age and my men young.
Yes, I did know that.
I just don't. He doesn't give away anything. I don't know if I should approach him or if he prefers the company of a lady.
And you have not spoken with him.
No, this is a secret between you and I.
And you assume that I have spoken with him instead.
I assume nothing when it comes to you, my cousin. It's better not to.
Would you like me to make an introduction for you, my dear?
I would love an introduction. Of course, you know, his sister and I have some history. However, he and I barely know one another.
Yes, why don't you marry her?
Well, she is
Catch?
still angry at me. You
Oh?
understand?
I don't quite.
Do
Between
you
you
remember
two.
that season 4 years ago? Surely you must have heard of her broken heart.
Yes, you've wronged her.
It is something I regret. I regret very little, but I regret that very much. She was probably not to be as a wife, but I felt I'd found my closest friend ever, and now I've lost her. It's she that I miss.
And with that regret, you intend to pursue her brother.
Well, I would like to make amends with her and restore our friendship. And if in the process, I'll let those cards fall where they may.
I would like to spend no, not a monolith token. I would like to spend a resolve token for you to reveal more of. Wait, actually, no. Let us make the introduction first.
Okay.
Lord Griffin. Here.
Yes, Lord Griffin has maybe tried to get into the circle around Orlando, but he kind of is a bit too state, I'd say. Not the kind of social butterfly that flutters around Orlando.
That's why he doesn't bother trying butterfly-like. It's elbows, sharp elbows. I say, Mrs. George.
Did you say Mrs. George?
Mr. St. George.
Oh, I see. Oh, look. There comes the young man's father. Do you need an introduction there, Hugh?
No, he knows me.
Perfect.
This should be, I hope your shawl is warm. This could be a chilly evening.
Viscount Griffin, a pleasure.
As always, Mr. George. Let me introduce my daughter, Justine.
Yes, hello, Lady Justine.
Miss St. George. Mr. Botham. Sorry, I keep thinking it's Lotham. But I got Mr. Botham.
Viscount.
Tell me, Lady Justine, is your brother about?
Oh, out and about, I'm sure. Why the interest?
I am in search of him. You see.
Alas, dear father, it seems I remain without, as some folks would say, a catch for now.
Oh. You care to elaborate?
Why, I don't think we need to bring up that unpleasantness.
Quite. I wouldn't want a reason for more unpleasantness to break out, especially in the company of dear friends.
My dear friend, yes. I would hate for you to feel more pain.
Miss St. George, might I inquire on why you're looking for my brother?
Why else but to make an introduction?
Quite. I do believe that the two of you are well acquainted with myself, and I fear my father has wasted his time and his breath. I'll go fetch him then. And
No
You're not-
need. We may go together. You do not need to fetch anyone for me, Lady Justine. I don't know if the Viscount is still here, but
Absolutely, he's backing off. He's kind of observing this. Say, I think this match could work.
what is it with you and your characters backing off and making matches work? What's up with this?
He needs to find an eligible bachelor for his daughter, and so far the field is thin.
it's true. Okay, and I think I would like to go find Lord Cedric Griffin.
I'm not a Finnish metal band, but yes. You will,
yeah, where
of
do
course,
we
find him.
find you? Oh, sorry.
I think I have been maybe. Where do we find me? I have been probably cornered by some overly drunken elder lady who is telling me about her penchant for horse racing and what horse I should back and why, and whatever has England come to when young men don't bet. And she's very disappointed, and poor Cedric, he just is too polite to extricate him from the conversation, but he's looking around rather panicked, like, can somebody get me out of this?
Yeah,
and when he sees his sister, he will seize on this opportunity, excuse himself, and go over and say, please save me, Justine, please.
Yeah, I think I kind of turn to the lady and says that my apologies, but my brother is quite needed. We've had an urgent telegram from the secretary, from the Minister of Social Instruction, and he's quite most needed. By the way, I can't help but overhear what you're saying. I would like to think that no one is betting on Mrs. Foley's favorite boy at the moment because of the previous season, and I'm kind of going to try and steer away the drunk lady.
Wow, a real trooper.
Anyway.
And Cedric looks after her and says to Mr. St. John, There is no Ministry of Social Instruction.
Yes, Lord Griffin. There is not.
Might I introduce my brother then, Lord Cedric Griffin, Secretary of importance.
Actually, I am the head clerk of the Secretary of Defenses.
Yes, quite important, I'm sure.
Not
Pleased
that,
to meet you,
not that
Lord
important.
Griffin.
Oh yes, pleased to meet you. And I'm looking to Orlando, of course, because he looks so much more fascinating.
Lord Griffin, allow me to introduce my cousin, Hugh Botham. Hugh.
Mr. Botham, how do you
Lord
do?
Griffin. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I know your sister, I know your father, but I've not met you till now.
Which is
I'm
very
quite-
most fortunate of him.
Perhaps we could go riding someday, or
If my time allows,
when
certainly.
you're not working.
Yes. I would be delighted. And that is totally perfunctory.
I
I'm
need to
also
spend
delighted.
my result token. Okay, all right. Hugh Botham.
But you can.
Hush. So, Hugh Botham, please take a resolve token, and if you want, I want to spend a token for you to accidentally show how interested you actually are in Lord Griffin. Like way more than just like, oh yeah, yes, let's go riding. But like, oh
Okay. I will. I'll take the token. Let's see. All right.
Yeah.
So, Lord Griffin, please tell me about yourself and your work. It sounds absolutely intriguing. You
It
must be doing
does.
important work.
It is important work. Some of it is classified, of course. But I feel that the rest of what I'm doing is rather dry. Actually, it involves a lot of law, learning about the law, making laws.
Perhaps what you need is a little adventure in your life. Maybe a friend, a close friend who can spice up your weekends.
Well,
Sounds like
actually,
you've been working too much. I could use a dear friend.
Mr. Botham, please excuse me for being very frank, but there is a murderer killing men of my family, and I am quite worried about that. And I feel also that is quite enough adventure in my life.
Surely they wouldn't harm such a beautiful, so an innocent man like yourself.
Maybe not, but my father is, well, he's of course innocent. No, that's
Your father is you can be
the
a little,
Viscount.
you can be a little overbearing at times.
Yes.
isn't the Viscount still here?
No, he's in the periphery.
No,
no,
he's drifted off now.
Oh darn! I thought he was there. I was going to say that in front of him.
Oh, I don't know that I'm happy for him to be there.
Yeah.
I'll spend a token to bring him in.
I don't think you need to. He was there. I'm.
Okay, all right. Look, I just need to spend some tokens.
But you totally can.
I believe
Spend it.
I'm trying to give myself a negative tag.
You can totally spend a token that he hears the whole he's a bit overbearing, and then Cedric's heartfelt yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll give him a token.
Harumph.
Oh, do you want to give that to Cedric?
Viscount, were you in earshot?
Father,
I didn't notice you there.
Ma, ba, ma. And I storm across the room to talk to Mrs. Hargreaves.
I fear he's had his second. I fear he's had his 7th pint of snifter.
Oh, that was ill said of me. Forgive me. I have to catch up with my father, and I'm running after the Viscount.
I shall be in touch.
Yeah. I will enjoy hearing from you.
I will enjoy being back in touch.
Before this kind of splits off, can I confront Hugh for a moment?
Yeah.
Go.
What do you?
I kind of square up to him. It's like, so, is this your method of making amends?
What did I do? I'm just trying to befriend your brother.
Befriend. Don't toss your euphemisms at me.
I'm a loss. What have I done to hurt you today?
It's not so much what you've done as what you failed to alleviate and what you continue to pour salt on.
How?
Clearly, it doesn't seem like you're willing to learn, given that you're already lining up your next meal when your current one, and she gestures at Lavinia, is still cooling in front of you.
I know not what you speak. I am merely trying to befriend your brother and your father. It's part of my. I want your forgiveness more than anything. To gain that, I must gain your trust, and to gain your trust, I just wanted to get to know your family better. That's all. I'm sorry if I've hurt you. I don't know what I did. Did I? Come, let us at least be friends for tonight.
Tonight only. But if you do anything untoward to my brother, much like what I have suffered,
I don't
you'll
know where you
find
get this idea.
And that's where you fail, Hugh. Your inability to know yourself. And I'm gonna flounce off.
Scene.
The monologue. Do you have to monologue?
You spend it on someone.
You spend the monologue token on the person you want to,
I
whose
see.
monologue you want to hear.
Okay.
And everybody can only monologue once per novel phase.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Per cycle. There's another
Per
novel.
cycle, not novel
Yeah.
phase.
Okay. Oh, so you can monologue outside novel. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You can also monologue in your diary in the epistolary phase.
In the epistolary, monologue token would just be that you're doing a journal entry.
Yeah. Cool. So where do we want to continue? I believe I would like to see an end to this novel chapter maybe soon, and I would like to end it with the irreverent hand-wringingly coming to Mrs. Hargreaves.
Oh, Reverend Plunkett. I do
Mrs.
hope you've enjoyed our little get together.
Oh yes, this is very, very lovely, enchanting, and even, and the birds singing. So much joy. God give us, and God taketh away, which kind of leads me to my point. Dear Miss Hargreaves, have you seen this young woman over there? And he points at, Frederica.
Yes, and I'm trying to work out the relationship. My husband's brother's ward.
Miss Hargreaves, and he draws you near. Do you know that she is your daughter?
Dun, dun, dun!
And that's kind of there. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, well, somebody had to give the baby to the Bonds.
I'm actually so dead.
Yeah, but I think we will close this novel chapter for now, because weirdly enough, our hostess is quite what's the word? Indisposed.
I think that probably after that, Mrs. Hargreaves will come a faint.
Oh, yes.
And the gentleman in the group will notice this, and the carriages will be called, and the maids will usher her upstairs while ushering everybody else out.
Cool. Yes, very good. So we have finished our novel chapter, our first one, and I think for this we deserve a break. And the timing is quite good. I think we should meet at past again. Okay, see you in 7 minutes. Getränk.
So, Sabine, what does the facilitator spend tokens on?
Usually the kind of stuff you spend tokens on, really, to get people into scenes, to make stuff happen, to say, oh, you're all in the garden and now there's a thunderstorm and everybody has to go into the house and notice how ramshackle it is and how few servants there are, something like that.
I see.
That's what you would spend your tokens on as a facilitator. But with you guys, you don't really need a facilitator to spend tokens because, well, you're doing it all yourself anyway.
No, I'm just looking for a supply of them, I'll be honest with you. You know, if this was a game of fate, I'd be desperately self-compelling at this point.
Yes,
Please,
yes.
God, give me a fate token.
Yes, well, yeah, I really, you know, in many of the other games, I've actually read the complaint in the Gauntlet forums that, oh, why do you need those tokens? They're truly unnecessary. But I like the way they compel people to act not in the best interest of their character, to go for the throat. That's one very nice and lovely way to spend these tokens.
I've had some bizarre ways tokens have been spent on me. Like I facilitated a game for folks who've never played it, and one of them was trying to set up their friend with another PC, and his friend had lilac capes on, and I was like, facilitator, can I spend a token to make lilac capes in? And I was like, yeah, okay, fine, sure, why not? And as the session went on, they just kept adding descriptions. So like, oh yeah, this person's wearing a cape. There's like, oh, there's a whole bunch of folks wearing lilac capes. It's so in this season. It's like, oh my god, what have I done?
Yeah, well, you can spend them to just step out of yourself and do something to a narration, really. That's what they are there for.
There was a time when one of them was trying to set up, again, a different person was trying to set up two different characters together. It's like, I'll give you a token if you stumble in this dance floor and fall into the other person's hands. Come on, do it. And then I'm going to spend another token to make bad weather happen, so they'll have to stay the night.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what they are there for, really. I mean, you don't have to spend them, I think, for making lilac capes but you could.
I had to make him work for it. You can't just say lilac capes are in.
Yeah. Okay, so we are finished with the novel chapter. We have now the reputation chapter. We have now to assess major character behavior against reputation criteria. And we will do this by looking at our role sheets and our masked identity sheets. No, wait, they're on the masked identity sheets, both of them. And if you go to whatever your masked identity is, for example, here's an outlaw, and I think we have 2 outlaws, right? We have Justine, who's an outlaw,
yes, we do.
and we have also Frederica, who's also an outlaw. And okay, reputation, you gain a masked positive tag if you risk life and limb for a robbery, heist, or devilish crime. Showed up, shut down, or embarrassed those that try to arrest you. Well, I think kind of, I don't know about if you risk life or limb Justine, or Velvet Ghost, sorry, when stealing that book, but it was certainly devilish.
Yeah, it was certainly that, but I don't think I risked life or limb. It's just a reverend. Like,
yeah, right. And you didn't actually meet anyone. Nobody tried to arrest you. So, but I think that might go for Ivory Stiletto, because you risk actually something because you murdered a person in their own home and you were nearly caught. So I guess.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So you will get the positive reputation token of daring.
So terrible.
Daring, maybe? Yeah, well, usually the crime isn't murder, but relentless, maybe.
Oh. Interesting. Relentless. Yeah, that makes
That-
sense.
Kind of fits, right?
Where do I find the reputation? Like
you've-
descriptions, or do I just make it up?
No, that we make them just up, like something that fits the bill. Because of course we could have said that you're cruel or ruthless, but this is a positive. Yeah, but it's a positive reputation.
Oh,
tag
right.
that you're
Sorry.
getting.
Right,
And that's
sorry,
why I'm
so-
going with relentless, because that's positive, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Relentless. And okay, I want to. Well, I guess it doesn't super matter, but I put it under the reputation tags, and then do I also check the up
Nope.
Oh, okay. Cool.
No, you get them if you have 3 reputation tags. Yeah, if you have 3 of them, then in one column, and then it goes up. If you have 3 positive ones, then you gain a positive condition, and if you have a negative one, then you gain a negative condition. Okay, so yeah, gained a masked negative tag if you back down, ran, or abandoned your target. Neither of you did that. Attracted too much attention, left a messy crime scene, or dropped an unintentional clue. I don't know. I mean, that was another major character that hunted you. It wasn't just some weird NPC, so I guess that doesn't really apply. Or what would?
Wait. Oh, I feel like it does apply, doesn't it?
Okay.
She dropped a stiletto.
Yeah, but that was
That
intentional.
But I
But
definitely
attracted too much attention. That's you attracted a lot of, and the
think
crime
I
scene
did.
was messy.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
what do we go with? Bloodthirsty?
Yeah, that's really good. It's true.
Cool. Wow, you're raking in condition. You're raking in tags here. Okay, then we have your civilian criteria, and I think that those are mostly the same for everyone. Gain a civilian positive tag if you acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires, or acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so. And I'm afraid that Frederica totally was very, very well behaved, even though that probably wasn't that much fun for her.
No, not fun for other people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
Did you get another positive tag?
Yeah, she got another positive tag.
I think the positive would probably be something like dutiful or mild. Is there some? I feel like there's some word that it's.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well behaved, maybe.
Mild mannered.
Mild mannered.
Genteel.
Genteel. Ooh, genteel.
I don't know if that's accurate though, because.
Yeah, you were looking down on your feet a lot.
Demure.
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 That's it.
Yes, that's great. So, so you have 3 reputation tags. So we will come to the reputation condition.
Well, no, she has
second.
3 overall, but only 2 in positive and 1 in
Right,
negative.
you're right. You're right. I can't count. I'm sorry. Counting is hard. Okay. So let's go on with everybody. Let's go on with who was it? Justine. How about you?
I don't think I gained any positive civilians. So I definitely gained a negative civilian tag because I acted in contravention of society's conventions by being loud and clearly coming on to the legitimate person.
Yeah. Okay. So would you gain loud as a negative tag?
Brash, maybe that's it.
Brash. Brash is fine. Brash is great. Okay. So okay, so I guess we've got the 2 of you settled. Outlaw. Next one's up is the bound.
Can I suggest that
Sure.
Justine suffered a second negative civilian tag, acted on a desire in a way that compromised your duty and morality, as well as acted in contravention of certain society's conventions?
Okay, yeah. I don't know, Leandro?
Yeah,
You fine
young
with that?
woman drunk, and then clearly did not take her father's lead.
I
Ooh.
think in the rules you only get 1
Every
negative
time,
tag.
yeah.
So every time, it's 1 civilian and 1 mask for this supplement, but you can't get like 2 civilian negatives.
Mhm.
Then
You
wait
guess-
until I get you home, young woman.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, we can talk about this in the letterer phase. Okay, we will continue with the bounty hunter because that's the next one on my sheet. Alan, did you pursue a wrongdoer when it's highly dangerous, stupid, or illegal?
I mean, I did pursue a wrongdoer, but it was a very kind of short, descriptive scene. There were no tokens spent, so I don't think I earned the dangerous bit.
No, I
I mean,
don't think so.
he was a pushover. He ended up hung upside down from a lamppost.
Yeah, right. Did you sacrifice?
Nope.
But hanging up people from a signpost is illegal, though.
No, that's part of my contract. That's the
Oh.
way that I earn. That my
Okay.
contract is to pursue
Mhm.
wrongdoers that threaten Bedford Square, and the best way to demonstrate to the locals that I'm doing my job is to find wrongdoers hang upside down on lampposts.
Yeah, but you would gain it. That's okay. Yeah, but that is actually gain a mass positive tag.
Oh, I
You
see.
did that.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. I'm very keen on that. Yes.
See, so it's not exactly legal to truss up people and hang them from signposts, but it's your thing and it's kind of cool. So maybe you could get a positive token for that, like dutiful or something.
Does it her way?
Okay.
Is that? Can I? Yeah, I'm thinking fate aspects here, so I can't get out of that mindset.
It's totally okay.
Independent-minded. Is that what you're after?
I don't. It's something about fulfilling the contract above all else.
Mm-hmm.
Dedicated.
Dedicated. Yes, dedicated is good. Did you sacrifice or trade something important to pursue, track, or trace? No, you probably didn't, and it doesn't matter anyway because you've got a positive one. The same goes for Cedric. Did he pursue a wrongdoer when it's highly dangerous, stupid, or illegal? I think you could say so. I mean, he ran after a murderer. Yeah, well, what would we call that? Brave?
Or stupid.
Yeah, it's a positive
It's a
one.
positive, right? So, dedicated? No, fearless?
Yeah, okay. I'll go with fearless. Okay, and negative text. Gain a mask negative if you made a deal with, went easy on, or deliberately allowed a wrongdoer to escape. Neither of did that. Let a criminal act go by beneath your nose unnoticed or without pursuit. No, we didn't do that. So we're good. Then we have the civilian ones. Acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires.
I'd like to propose that Mrs. Hargreaves went out on a limb to run a soiree when the coffers are rather empty.
Yes, okay, I'll buy that.
How would I phrase that?
Generous?
Overly generous.
This is a positive tag.
So
it's just generous.
Yeah, generous. Yeah.
That's fine. And what about Cedric? I don't know if he did any of that. Acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardships in doing so. I don't think so. Didn't have much screen time, so I guess not. We have the civilian negative ones. Acted in contravention of society's conventions and acted on a desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality. What about you? No, you didn't. I said that fatal yes thing. I disrespected my father, so I'm guessing I will have to eat that. Like disrespectful, maybe. Is that a word? It's a word. Great. Okay.
So can I just be clear about play flow now?
we have to go with you.
How do you
Or
mean?
what? I don't know what do you want to say?
Oh, sorry. I'm just so it's in the novel phase that you need to,
Yeah.
adhere to or break
Mhm.
those rules. Okay.
Yes.
Or the rooftop phases.
All
Oh,
the
the
rooftop.
roof. Yes. Okay, and you are a charlatan. Did you dramatically and publicly showed someone up or bested someone in a fight? Don't think so, right? You just stole a letter. And did you? Ooh, where's my thingy? Did you dramatically and publicly declare your passionate feelings for or gravely insult somebody? Don't think so.
Yes.
So-
Didn't. Oh, I'm trying to remember.
That's the masked one. That's the masked one.
I didn't do it as
Yeah, you did it maybe as a civilian, but this is the masked one. And mask negative if you back down, ran, or hid from a challenge. No, acted in a way that was unfashionable, brutish, or awkward. I don't think so either. Let's go to the civilian ones. Acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires. Did you? Don't think so.
I think I just get one negative for
Yes.
contraventions of
Yes.
society's conventions.
Yes. What should we call
My
that?
favorite thing to do in good society.
Well, yeah, well,
Rude.
So let's see.
rude. Yeah.
I was going to
Rude.
say brutish.
I like rude better, actually.
Ooh, rude.
Rude. That wasn't brutish what you said. It was just rude.
Yeah, I agree. Brutish has other implications that I
Mhm.
feel like are not as applicable in this case.
Yeah, you need to punch the Viscount to be brutal.
I could do that.
Yeah, or you just need to slobber all over the buffet or something.
It might limit my chances of marrying his son if I hit him, but
Yeah, maybe he'll respect that.
maybe.
Yeah, as if.
Probably not. So, okay. So we have done that. Now we go to rumors and scandals phase. We have a tab on the character keeper for rumors and scandals. And now we have, exactly. Now we have to create, each of us creates a rumor. No, wait. We create rumors and then we spread and confirm them. So that is the players who put in a rumor into the world and that gets spread. If it's spread, then, well, people might have heard about it. If it's confirmed, then it's a rumor that everybody's talking about. You can, on your turn, each of us will have 2 turns. On your turn, you can either start a rumor, that would be a rumor that is spread but not confirmed, or confirm a rumor. So yeah, then it's confirmed. You can do those 2 things. Yeah, and the rumor that you bosom jilted Annabelle in front of an entire wall, that is spread, and everybody knows about it, and people are still talking about it even.
Yes, and him drawing attention to himself in that way did not do Annabelle any good at all.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Annabelle again? Sorry.
Mrs. Hargreaves.
Wait.
Your mom.
Oh my gosh.
I've got quite the history.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You jilted
Yes.
Mrs.
2 of the main
Hargreaves,
characters.
Indeed.
and now you're in pursuit. Okay, great, got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is
So-
You could change.
Hugh is a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So rumors, create or spread rumors. And
So can I create a rumor then?
yes, sure, start out. Go on.
Viscount Griffin is very unhappy with his wife.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll just ask the next person. Does anybody have a rumor in their mind, or should I just call out people?
Oh, I have one.
Cool.
Lady Justine
Mhm.
wishes to reconcile with Hugh Botham.
Oh. That's true.
No, not reconcile. Wishes to rekindle the affections of Hugh Botham.
Mhm.
I'm gonna spread that.
Okay. Very good. Scott, what do you want to do? Do you want to start a rumor or spread
What is the
one?
area that we're in that whose character is protecting? Somebody's character is being paid to cut down on crime.
The Reaper.
The Reaper.
The Reaper. What is the area called?
Bedford Square.
Crime is out of control in Bedford Square.
Oh, nice. Okay, out of control, Bedford Square. And I will create the rumor that the Ivory Stiletto is coming for Lady Justine Griffin. Or maybe the Griffin twins. The Ivory Stiletto is coming for the Griffin twins.
I'm gonna spread that as well. I'm just gonna I just want to spread stuff so they can be used.
Yes. Okay.
So am I right in that one can have two actions?
Yes.
So having created Viscount Griffin is very unhappy with his wife, I could spread it.
Yes.
Oh,
You
please.
totally
I'd like to spread that, please.
Of course. Okay. Agatha, you could now either spread the whole crime in Bedford Square thing, or you could think of a new rumor.
I kind of want a new rumor.
Cool.
There is a new outlaw named the Justice Phantom has been making rounds.
Okay. Outlaw. Oh, wow. Wait.
Bracket in Bedford Square bracket? Question mark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. In
bracket.
Bedford Square.
In Bedford Square, yeah.
This rooftop phase is gonna be so much.
Okay. Now I've got something to do, and Scott, I think we're the ones who still have actions, right? I want to have a rumor about you, Bottom, but I don't know which one. There's so many things one could say about him.
It's so crazy because it's just his persona to keep his secret life secret.
Yeah, well,
the poor guy. It's spun out of control.
I think I will just create the rumor that you Botham is going to be a father, but nobody knows who the lucky lady is.
Oh, I'm spreading that. That is so spread.
Bracket again? Question mark bracket.
Yeah, that is so spread.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is Q Frederica's father? Oh.
I couldn't possibly answer that question.
That would make him a very young baby daddy, but it's possible.
No, didn't Scott increase his age to be nearer Annabelle's?
Yes, but 33 means that he would be barely old enough.
14. That's
14. It's totally, yeah. I had a coworker who was a father at 13, so yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's at least plausible in society, right?
Oh man, now I know what to do with my result tokens.
And I think actually that there was in was that Pride or Prejudice? In one of them, a 13-year-old gets impregnated all the time, actually. So yeah, it's possible.
Isn't that Kitty?
It's
I think the youngest
Lydia.
Lydia is
Yeah.
the one who runs away,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
That
she is
makes
very young, I think.
yeah, she
Yeah,
was
but
like
that-
13 or 14.
They're
Yeah.
not
And
right. They're not quite in society yet. They haven't had their
Mm.
debuts.
and the bad guy, I guess, the one who
Mr. Wickham.
Wickham.
So didn't he have the niece of somebody seduced and impregnated, and then
He's the
Mr.
worst.
Darcy's sister.
Mr. Darcy's
Didn't
right?
impregnate her.
Tried to get her,
right.
he tried to kidnap her, didn't he? He didn't
Tried to
actually.
ingratiate her and then marry her when she was at least
Mm.
13.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
quiet girl, the quiet sickly girl or something.
No, that's the quiet sickly girl is Lady. Oh God, I haven't watched it this year yet. I watch it every year.
The one with the long name.
Right. It's his aunt's.
yeah.
I mean, it's his cousin, but it's like cousin once removed or whatever. So
So
I love that wet shirt scene. It's so hot.
Oh, the one with what's his face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin
The main
Firth?
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so now we have that wet shirt scene firmly ensconced in our minds. We will go to the epistolary phase. That means we will go and write letters. I can't tick that off. Epistolary. Everybody can write 2 letters or ask or have 2 letter actions. Actually, you can ask somebody else to write a letter to you. I think you have to spend a resolve token for that. Yeah. But you should also consider, of course, writing letters yourself to other characters. Somebody put a very long picture in the chat. And, well, yeah, you can write letters to totally unnamed NPCs who have not appeared yet. You can also say, my good old friend Marlene wrote me a letter telling me that you Botham wasn't evil and was actually a decent human being or something like that. But I think you would have to spend a resolve token because it would impact you who wants to have a negative reputation for himself and not be known that he's actually quite a nice guy or something like that.
Okay, I have a resolve token to spend on
Ooh.
Mrs. Annabelle Hargreaves, written to her child, unsent, of course, to the child that she does not know the name of, but she knows is out there somewhere.
Well, she knew, right? Because we was revealed at the end of the party. She knows who her child is.
Yeah, but
Well,
this
she does now,
earlier.
but we cut to her
Oh,
not
okay.
writing a letter, but taking from the bottom drawer of a
Yes.
chest of drawers
Yes,
a yellowed folded letter
Mhm.
written in a young woman's hand
Yes,
that
please.
says, "My dearest, you cannot know how much I love and miss you, and you will never know. I would have done anything not to have you taken away. I would have done anything to have you with me. I would have done anything to ensure your place in the world was secure. But I know this cannot be. Signed, your loving mother, Annabelle." Is that enough for a resolve token?
It's good enough for me.
It's quite great. Anybody else have a letter that they want to write? I have written at them.
Can one declare a letter that you want to write?
Hmm?
Can Annabelle Hargreaves say that she is writing a letter, or do we all get to write one?
Yes. No, you get to write 2. So you can also say, hey, Annabelle wants to write a letter to somebody else.
She puts the yellowed folded paper into a fresh envelope and addresses it to Frederica Isles. But no more than that. No, can it be? Sorry, I've just thought it would be really better if the letter just finished, "Your loving mother," without naming her.
And it's an anonymous letter
An
that you're
anonymous
sending.
letter.
Oh, I love that. Very cool. I think Cedric would want to write an apologetic letter to his father because, well, or no, maybe he writes to Justine. No, he doesn't write to Justine. He writes his father, and he apologizes. He misspoke. He was quite shocked. He was certain that Mr. Botham was saying something nice and wanted to go along with it enthusiastically, and suddenly Mr. Botham was so incredibly rude that he had not understood what in that moment that was what he was saying. And of course he does not think his father is overbearing at all. He thinks his father is a great person and strong-minded, of course, and he admires him immensely. Your loving son, Lord Cedric Griffin.
Do we get to see these? Do we get to see these letters received?
No, we don't.
I mean, you could, the person who it's written to could choose to write a response. But yeah, you don't see what the character does when they read it.
Right.
Okay, I have a letter, I guess, unless someone else wanted to go.
No, go.
Okay, this is the letter written by Frederica to a Christopher Bond. Dearest Uncle, I hope, crossed out. Today is a rainy day. It's been like this for quite a while now. Aunt Judith has taken to rest. Has been like this for a while now. This house is very damp. I have been told that this has always been the case. I think wherever you are at, you must be much drier than here. I don't mean in the ground, because I know that is very damp, but I mean where you are at now. Because, of course, you would be in a nicer place. This is what you tell me. This is what they say, and I will believe it. I miss, crossed out. I am well, and I have taken upon myself to expose what has been done to you. You needn't worry about me, because I have always been a clever girl. Capitalized C, capitalized G. Like you said, I am not lonely because I know I am doing the right thing. I know that I will not see you for a bit, but and then I think it just cuts off there. It's an unfinished letter and unsent, obviously.
Very nice. Leandro.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think Lady Justine has a letter. to Miss Frederica Isles. I think it's kind of in a bit of a scrawl. I don't think she's I think she's writing emotionally. I think as it goes to Freddie. I know what you said at that party, and it would be foolish of me to think that you are not being honest to me. As much as I would like to believe that you are putting on a pretense, but what I said there, what I promised you, it still stands. I see something weighing you down, Freddie, some trouble, and I only wish I could take it all away. I wish I could take you as far as we can go. Do you remember that inn, that in the Four Pentacles? It was by the coast over Dover, the bitter smell of salt and the seas. And if not for that storm, honestly, Freddie, I would have taken you away, taken you to all the sights out there in the big wide world, away from troubles that beset yourself and mine. Out of character, can I spend a token so that in this indeterminate time the ivory stiletto has struck? And so she's down to one last stiletto.
Oh, is this possible, Sabine? I mean, I'm cool with it, but
I
Sure.
no, go on. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you can spend, if Agatha agrees, sure, you can write, and now my poor dear cousin Reynold was killed or something like that.
Yes.
I'm not just targeting the Griffin family.
Yeah.
I've killed other people.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, yeah, but you're getting close. That's why you're down to the last three. And it's centered around the Griffins. So
Oh, yeah. No, there's only 2 left now because I killed someone just last time. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm spending on so that you've killed again in this time, so you're down to 1. Yeah, cool. So I'll untick that. Yeah, so I think that the letter continues like I wish you could take away to all the troubles that beset all of us. And I know society might dictate otherwise, but given the deaths that haunt us recently, first my dear uncle Rutherford and my cousin Reginald have met an untimely demise. The name of Griffin hangs lowly. But honestly, even if it was the pride of the land, I would throw it all away for you. I said that I would try, and I mean it. But I do not want to add to your burdens. I only want to make it clear that I wish to lift them. Yours, Justine.
Very cool.
I got a letter, unless
Cool.
you want to go to Sabine first.
No, go ahead.
All right, so this is a letter from Hugh to Mrs. Hargreaves. Mrs. Hargreaves, it was nice to see you at the ball. I kept my distance because of the pain I caused you so many years ago. I feel nothing but sorrow for the way that I acted in my youth towards you. And I hope that one day you would be willing to talk with me about this. in society, we all have masks that we wear, and know that the hue that you see is not the true hue. Please respond if you would like to talk. Yours, Hugh. And the puppy dog.
Yay, puppy dog.
Annabelle Hargreaves burning the letter.
Oh, okay. So I think, Agatha, you wrote one letter and you asked for one letter, right? Alan, you wrote 2 letters, or did you just need?
I wrote one letter, but there were 2 letters.
Okay, then you
Yeah.
got another one that you can do, actually.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah, well, one of them was something that Agatha asked for.
Oh,
I
right.
think that costs her action and not yours.
Yes, I will write to my great aunt Agatha.
Oops, sorry.
No,
I'm muted.
that's harsh. No, I'm going to write to my great aunt. I can't think of it. All my great aunts are always
Write
called
to your
Agatha.
great aunt Agatha.
Can I write to my great aunt Agatha? Because I always have a picture of my great aunt Agatha in these. And she doesn't look at all like you, it must be said. My great aunt Agatha saying, the financial position is becoming quite difficult, great aunt. I fear that I may have to take a more direct route. Viscount Griffin is a very attractive man. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so Leandro, you've got 1 left and I've got 1 left. Do you know what you want to do with yours? I have an idea for mine. Or you've got, you also have 1 left, Scott. I'm sorry.
Go ahead if you want to go. I don't think I have an idea at the moment.
Okay, Scott, what about you?
Viscount Griffin, Viscount S.
Ooh.
Griffin is going to write to her daughter.
Ooh. Nice.
Justine, I saw you speaking with that damnable Mr. Botham. He treated you poorly. And while you seem to have moved on, a mother fears for her children. I made a bad mistake in taking your father back when we were younger. And while I love my children, I have not been happy these many years. I wish you nothing but happiness. Please be wary with Mr. Botham.
That is very cool. So I think what I want, or Leandro?
No, go ahead.
Okay. What I want to do is to have a letter to the editor sent to the London Times, if that was a thing back then, but it probably was. And it is addressed to the Reaper, because the Reaper is known as a force for justice, maybe? Or no, it's addressed to all forces for justice. And it is in that letter, it's an open letter from an anonymous source, whoever that might be. It is said that there is crime, it's getting worse. Murders are being done on our streets, blood is running, but if one were to look closer at where the blood is coming from, it is quite clear that this is the blood of the family of Viscount Griffin that is being spilled here. And then there is sort of an insinuation about that sword, that ceremonial sword that the young Lord Griffin wore for the latest military parade that had no place in the hands of the family Griffin. I just want to push the Irish stiletto a bit, but it's also mostly addressed, of course. I think the whole Griffin clan will feel very interested in this. And the Reaper probably too. Then, because this ends with the lament, where are our masked justice heroes when they are really truly needed to uncover these dastardly deeds? What has London come to? Oh, Morris, oh, England.
Can I just be clear then? Is that an anonymous letter?
Yes.
We needn't assume that that's come from any of the characters you have anything to do with.
It has not. No, it has no. Somebody has noticed stuff and is a nosy Snoopy and wants to write a letter to the editor because he's worried about the future of his country.
I think I have a quick letter then to my brother. This probably ends up to him while he's working. I think it's just, dear Cedric, or do I call him Lordy? I'll call him Lordy. Dear Lordy.
You're not calling him Lordy.
Okay, all right. Oh, come on. Isn't that like what a crappy older sister would? Okay, no, I won't. Okay. Dear Cedric, I hope this reaches you in an opportune time. We didn't really get to speak at the ball. You seem quite well, to be frank, you seem quite overwhelmed by it all, but I hope to reach you at your place of work where hopefully you're a bit more comfortable. I just want to pen a quick word of warning to you about certain people looking to befriend you for whatever reason. Well, I've already started being frank. I might as well continue. I came to warn you about Mr. Hugh Botham. He, for lack of a better term, is a rake, a cad, a rogue, so to speak. He leaves nothing but broken glass wherever he treads. And those that try to follow him will only find themselves stepping on all that glass. You're an adult who can do whatever he likes, but I just want to warn you of where you might be treading. Yours, Justine.
Well, the one thing we will see is that, Cedric will look at that and then look at the written invitation of you Botham to a hunting expedition or something, and like, what should I do now? He seems undecided. So, okay, we have done the epistolary, and now we will have another rooftop phase.
Before we start that phase, can I just ask a question?
Yes.
I think, did we establish last time that the sword that this is becoming all about is in the Griffin household?
Yes.
Is it in their townhouse in Bedford Square?
Yes.
I just think it would be nice if it was, but
Yes.
I don't have enough tokens to spend to make it so.
No, I like it. What about the other people who are involved in this? I like it.
I'm down for it. Also, there are other ways you can spend tokens. The spread rumors can count as tokens if
Mm.
you use those rumors. Your reputation tags also count as tokens.
Mhm.
That's how you can get rid of negative stuff. But you have to use, if you want to use a negative reputation tag, you can use it. You have to use it in a way that will impair your character.
Exactly. But I guess this is just we can just assume that it has to be somewhere anyway. So
I
that's
just, if the worst came to the worst, could I nudge the facilitator to spend a
yes.
token?
Yes. If there was a facilitator, then you could say, "Hey, facilitator, token this," and then the facilitator totally would say, "Oh, wow, that's a great idea," and he would say, "Yes, that's how we are going to do it." Yeah. So the sword of Christopher Bond is kept at the townhouse and was last seen with, I think, with Cedric, who wore it for some sort of parade because he needed a sword to, well, look presentable, and that sword was just lying around there anyway. Or maybe it's far more sinister than that, who knows. Okay, I think we're going into our next rooftop phase now. Before we do that, we only have half an hour or 40 minutes left. But should we take a quick break, maybe 5 minutes or something like that? Okay, fine. So we will meet at 25, okay? See you then.
Oh my gosh. I need to run Hearts of Wulin for you, Leandro. And for you, Scott.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Leandro, you'd be perfect.
Oh,
Playing it.
God.
You love drama.
I don't love drama. I just bring drama. It's like a natural
wow.
occurrence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't have said that.
That's totally okay. And it's totally true. And I've not played Hearts of Wulin with you yet, Agatha. Just mentioning it. Quite subtly. So.
Oh, I mean, I'll run it. I won't. I'll be away for a while, but like for basically this whole month. But maybe next month. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Anyway.
Okay.
Just not during Origins.
I did put a question in the chat, Agatha, about how you want to see Frederica bow out. You know, are you wanting tragedy or what? Because then we can try to give you a kind of bundle.
Yeah, I think it'd be very interesting to have like a maybe like either a redemption or tragedy story. I just feel like because she's really young, so it would make sense for her to have like a redemption thing, even though she should be hanged.
Yeah, poor Reginald. He was kind of a bore, but that was no reason to kill somebody. Okay, so I think we're centering this around Bedford Square, because that's where the sword is. What I'm wondering is the Lancashire lover close by?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know, right, that the Velvet Ghost lives there because you know who she is in her normal, in her civilian identity.
Yeah, he's prowling the roof.
He's not the only one, I guess. I would start with, can we, I know the rooftop scene is usually meant to be just one scene per character, but since we're ending this arc here, I would like for each of you to just, that we have an idea where everybody is, that like we should see a quick starting shot by the camera. We see the Lancashire lover prowling the rooftops. Where do we see the Reaper?
We zoom to a chimney, and in the shade of the chimney, as a half moon illuminates the damp grey roof tiles, we see a shadow. And as the shadow moves, the Reaper's face just comes out into the moonlight as she observes a figure moving across the rooftops.
And where's the Velvet Ghost this auspicious night?
Funny thing is, I think of all the characters, I think the Velvet Ghost, and specifically Lady Justine, is the one least interested in this stiletto nonsense. So she's actually, I think she's probably still around Bedford Square. Actually, not
You could just say she's in her civilian identity.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about. Yeah, I think no, I think she would be in her Velvet Ghost. I think she uses the ghost to blow off some steam. Maybe she's just about to come back from having lifted the Dartmouth family with from a bit of their valuables.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cedric, of course, is in costume and is somewhere on the rooftop. Surprise. Lurking about and waiting for the ivory stiletto to do something like he has the last 3 nights running. And now we come to the ivory stiletto. What are you doing?
The ivory stiletto, dressed in complete mourning clothes again, is okay. We established that the sword is in the country house of the Griffins, but it's fine. It has been moved to
in the townhouse in Bedford Square, I think we said.
Yes, and so Yeah, this figure, I believe, that the Reaper has observed moving stealthily is headed towards the Griffin townhouse.
And of course, the Reaper is very stung by the newspaper article about crime increasing in Bedford Square. So the Reaper is keeping a particular eye on the Bedford Square and the Griffin house in particular.
Okay, let's go stay with the Ivory Stiletto. I want to see how she escalates the whole thing, while everybody else is lurking about.
So this is going to be kind of interesting because what I would like is so this is the scene that I'm envisioning is the Ivory Stiletto going in and trying to kill the Viscount Griffin, but probably getting stopped by someone before that. So I think we can just go with that. It's like, let's say the Ivory Stiletto has gone in to the Viscount's chamber and is like taking out her dagger. And it's like slowly and again just draped in moonlight is the scene when someone else can. I don't know
So
who wants to step in.
I was actually going to go steal his journal. Was going to be my vignette.
Oh, right.
So
Very
it could be
cool.
that I'm in there stealing his journal and see the stiletto.
Spend a resolve token, please.
Yep.
And give it to Agatha, I guess, because it's.
No, don't give it to me. I don't want it. Oh, fine, give it to me.
I'm actually gonna. What if I give it to the Viscount, since it'll be usable then?
Oh, right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
You have
Yes,
but
that-
20 more minutes to use it, but I can give it to the Viscount because what I'm doing is getting information about him.
Yes.
That I
So,
will be using later. All right, so you go to get your stiletto and you see a form in shadows, and maybe overhear him rifling through something.
I mean, if it's just another person who's there like stealing things, that I think makes me want to hurry what I was going to do. So go ahead.
Can I spend a resolve token to have the Viscount wake up?
it's your Viscount, sure.
Sure. I don't know if you need to spend a token for that.
Viscount has many.
And I will give that to Frederica.
No.
We're going to lose those tokens, you know.
Oh, that's true. I'll give that to Hugh Botham, Lancashire Leather, because I roll over in bed and peer towards my desk and go, Jenkinson, is that you?
Oh dear. I think this is when the Ivory Stiletto is like, okay, today's not the day. And she like I basically head for the nearest window again with a convenient balcony. And I think I try to leave. But I would love to spend a resolve token to run into the Justice Phantom.
Yeah, cool. Do that. Because the Justice Phantom is just waiting for you, dastardly murderer.
Okay.
I take the token and
give it to you.
there it is. Thank you. And I will shout at you, murderer, stand fast, and then I will charge at you with my rapier drawn. It's my own rapier, not the bone sword. So.
Oh right. Oh no! I wish I could have taken the sword with me. Can I just spend another resolve token to do that?
Sure.
Or?
Sure.
Okay. So you're on your way to the Viscount, you probably found it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, so I have it with me, and
Oh,
I.
Wait,
go
I
ahead.
have another idea. Maybe I chase you into the house, and then there you find it.
Okay, cool. There it is, and I think I'm like, there's a moment where I'm really torn because I want to take it, but then I'm like, oh, what do I do? I guess I go, and I grab it, and then I turn around to face you.
Yes. Do we have a sword fight?
I think what I say is, I do not wish to fight you.
Well, you should give yourself up to justice, murderer. Or you have to fight me. I will not let you go. You cannot murder the members of this innocent family.
Innocent. You've hung this sword, a trophy of your disgusting deeds, over your mantle, and you say you are innocent.
The Justice Phantom hesitates because he doesn't know where that sword was coming from, actually. And he's read the article. That sword has been in the family many years, I believe. Stand
I know
down.
who you are. You are a part of this tainted household. And you're saying words of justice, but you only care about the protection of your family. And I don't think I need to hear any more from you.
Then have at it. Because I will see justice done, and murdering people in their sleep, that is not justice, no matter what has happened before.
Even if they have orchestrated the murder of an innocent man?
Then you should go and prove that to justice, not murder people in
to
their
the
sleep.
peerage?
They had no defense.
To the peerage, who will only protect themselves, just like you are protecting them.
I am protecting justice.
Leandro, did you want to do something?
Yeah.
I want to give a token I want to spend a token so that Frederica can dramatically unmask.
Sure, why not? Do I check that box? How does that work?
Sure. Yeah. No.
Revealed.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, I tear the veil from my face and I throw it on the ground. What do I say?
I will say you are Christopher Bond's ward.
So you do know him. Why?
No, but I know
were you the
you.
one that...
I did not take you for a murderer, Miss Isles.
Nor did I take your father for one. And, oh no, should I spend a monologue token? But we don't have time. I want to spend my monologue token.
Do it.
Spend
I
it.
spend it on the Justice Phantom.
Yeah. What is she talking about? I can't believe this. My father, he is not a bad man, or is he? I have no idea. He has always been overbearing, and there are things that I've heard in the ministry. But murder is not a solution, and I don't believe that Reginald had anything to do with it. Not Reginald. You can't murder people in their sleep. That's not. I had one thing at a time, and then he says to you, I promise you that I will find justice for whatever crime has happened to Christopher Bond, but I also will find justice for the crimes you have perpetrated on the Griffin family.
I'd like to spend a token, please. This is on the balcony outside the Griffin Viscount's window, isn't it? And I imagine this going across so.
No, this is in the Great Hall where.
Oh, okay. Better still.
Where the Ivory Stiletto has grabbed the sword.
Better still. then the window shatters as guess who lands between the pair of you. There is the Reaper, who says, "Stay away from her, you bitch." That's the closest I can get. It has to be the bastard, doesn't it, for gender? But I want the alien quote in here. And I will engage the Justice Phantom.
Well, the Justice Phantom is confused and will, of course, start to fight back. But he has not. He thought the Reaper was paid to protect, and he will say that you are paid to protect that Fort Square. What are you doing? I knew it. You're just in pay for someone. You are a criminal. Out of this house, fiend. And then he will fight back. And now we can have a dramatic conflict. Let's see. Where are we going with this? We have a duel.
Yes, and I don't have a resolve token, but I actually do have a sword.
Yes, Alan, it's beautiful that you have a sword. I love it. But what is the perfect outcome for what's your name? Annabelle.
For the Reaper, thank you.
Yes.
It is to engage the Justice Phantom, my arch enemy.
Yes.
For long enough to give Frederica time to think again.
Ooh.
Okay, I mean, Frederica / the ivory stiletto will run away in this opportunity, and taking her sword.
Okay, you will take.
Uncle.
That's your perfect outcome, and the perfect outcome for the Justice Phantom, I think, is to. Well, what he wants, obviously, is to overcome the Reaper and stop the ivory stilettos. But we have two other people who are close by and can have... No, I don't think you're in the scene right now or in the conflict. That's the conflict. Those are the stakes. But they're, of course, contrary. I would like for the Reaper to not just keep me up, just distract me, because I won't do this. I would like to propose that I injure the ivory stiletto and then get stabbed or cut down by the Reaper. Not fatally, but is that cool with everybody?
Leandro, did you want to do something?
Yeah, because we haven't seen the Velvet Ghost. Do you mind if I inject myself? I think all that will probably happen, but instead of you being stabbed by the Reaper, the Justice Phantom will be knocked out by a sack of cutlery and jewels.
Oh yes.
And if the stiletto's injured, the Phantom will be knocked out, and there'll be the Velvet Ghost looking down on you, at you, Frederica, unmasked, and then with her back turned to the Reaper, she's gonna pull her mask down and show that it's Sabine, and kind of offer a hand to you. Is that okay?
I'm okay with it.
So much drama.
Mm-hmm.
Is everyone else cool with it?
I don't see where that would go, where that would get us to a satisfying conclusion, actually.
I've got a final quip, but it has to be pretty final.
I think
Lady Justine will say that offer to take you away, does that still stand? That's what she'll say.
I mean, I think at this point, then Frederica would probably run along with you. Probably.
That's the Reaper's last quip.
So there's a bag of jewels. Is Justine running off with those? There's the unconscious body of Cedric, and you two are clambering up to the window that I've smashed through to escape. Is that what we're looking at?
If this is everyone's accepted outcome, but it's not
Yes.
necessary.
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can do it like that. I like it. So what happens then is let's see this a bit. Yeah, this whole fight thing where where everybody has a sword drawn, and the Reaper fights the Justice Phantom. Things go on and off, and I think the noise of this alerts the Velvet Ghost, right? That there's something going on, and we can see her sneaking, maybe. And but the Justice Phantom is quite tricky, and while it looks like the two are actually very concentrating on fighting, then suddenly he will faint and injure poor what's her name? Frederica, sorry. Not Paley, of course. And that's when the sack of jewels comes out on his head. He gets knocked out.
Yeah, and I look down at Frederica, kind of pull off the mask so she can see it's Justine, and offer a hand. Nearly quoted Terminator there. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I look up and I almost say, I'm like, and then you have your quip.
Yeah, set up.
As what I'd like to do is as they are reaching the window ledge to leap out into the garden and into, I will shout out, Frederica, take the sword. Your mother loves you.
I think I have like one look back where I'm so confused. And then I tighten my grip on the sword, and then I turn back and continue running away.
I think I want to cut back to the bedchamber where the Viscount is actually confronting our thief, the Lancashire lover, because I haven't forgotten you.
All right. Alan, your video hung on me for a second when you woke up. What did you say exactly? Or
is that you, Jenkinson?
It is not Jenkinson. It is I, the Lancashire lover. You have wronged your wife, and you will pay publicly. You will never sleep well again.
Blah, 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 blah.
And then I push him to his bed, and then go to leave through the window. And then I don't know.
What do you have there? What do you have there? What's that? What's that? He thinks you've got something, but he doesn't know.
It is your journal. Thank you for sharing it with me.
But.
I know some society papers that would love to see this.
I'll pay you. I'll pay you.
I will consider it. Expect a letter.
And
I think that's a good scene. I got what I needed.
That was great. Very good. So by the end of our rooftop scene, we have Frederica running away, wondering about the last words from the Reaper. What is Justine doing? Is she going with Frederica?
Yeah, I think. Well, actually, depends. Because I think Justine's mindset is to get Frederica out because she's clearly blown her identity and her cover, and I think Justine's trying to I know people. I can get you out of here. Your cover is quite blown. I think she was trying to convince Frederica just walk away for now.
Yeah, I think that is probably what happens.
Yeah. Okay. And the Reaper, what does she do?
The Reaper.
What's the next we see of her?
will wipe a tear from the corner of her eye and disappear into the night.
Mhm.
Job well done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any last words, Justine, Frederica?
Ooh.
Have a little scene, come on.
Epilogue.
Yeah, profess your endless love or something like that.
I feel like this is a scene where it's at night. Probably not the same night. I don't know. But it's at night, and then I am dressed in traveling clothes, and there's a carriage with a horse stamping impatiently, and you're there, stomping, and you're there to see me off, presumably.
Yeah, I think I'm as the ghost here, but my mask is off, and I think she's looking like she wish she could come with you. I think I know I say that. I think Justine says, I wish I could come with you, but I think I know why. I know why you're. My family has a lot to answer for.
I'll take your hands, Justine. We can never be, but I wish you all the happiness.
I think I squeeze your hands and like, I wish I could have given you the same happiness. I hope to see you again sometime when all this is over. When you come back, not an if. When you come back, you'll find. I hope your work will be over by then. It's like, I promise you, Freddie, you might not have killed my father, but if you ever come back, you'll find that I'll finish your work. I'm not going to kill him, but I'm definitely going to ruin him.
Justine, I do not wish for you to take on that sort of burden. You don't need to do that. And I don't think I wanted to kill him anyway.
What do you want now?
I suppose I want to put this behind us.
Okay. As you wish. I think she's going to kiss your hands, like as a send off.
Yeah, and I pull you in for a real kiss.
Mm.
And then I turn and I hop on the carriage.
And drive away into the night. Maybe through Bedford Square, where we can see the Reaper looking after the coach. And then we have credits. Yes. Okay. So we're done for today. Thank you for playing. Thank you for getting to the end of this arc for Freddy.
Tell me when to stop the broadcast.
Yes, please stop the broadcast. I'm sorry, I forgot that.